No. Oh. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've had a great week and in the sunshine. It has been lovely recently. Right, this week we are going to get some rewiring done of the setup. We're going to install the rack that I've got over there. I've got some spare cables lying around and we want to sort out this corner. Now, I've been thinking about it. My plan is I need to move the PC to the other side of underneath the desk, so then I've got room to put the rack on the right hand side. And I also then need to move stuff like my USB hub and my hard drive to the other side of the desk, so then because I share it between both computers, just makes life a bit easier not having to trail a cable across. Also frees up a USB cable for running cameras for the stream. And I also need to still set up the stream setup, but I need to find myself a nice cheap monitor, and I'll put it on a bracket, and then we can house that over here somewhere. That's for another day, but I might do that if I come across one whilst making this video. You never know. Doubt it, but we'll find out. Anyway, let's get that done. Let's get some rewiring done. It's going to be faff. It's not going to be much to watch, so I'll keep it short for you guys. And then we'll crack on with then building the rack unit and making everything work. Let's do it. Alright, just fired up the computer on the desk again. Everything's working as it should be, which is good. Happy days for that. Right, I've got, underneath the pile of stuff over there, I've got a old flight case that I used to use for analog effects rack, basically. Now I run all digital desks for my sound engineer. It's obsolete. It's been sat in my locker for ages empty. So I thought, you know what? Let's utilise that under the desk and save some money. At the minute, I'm buying one that's, you know, for the desktop, save some space on the desktop and stick underneath. I'm going to put the power amp for the Alesis speakers in it. I'm also going to put in the headphone amp, the DI rack. When I've got to buy that actually, I better get on to do that, and the effects rack for the guitar amp as well. I'm going to put them in the rack. They look all nice and neat then. They'll be out the way. The rack will look kind of empty, but I don't want to overfill it because, you know, I might put something in there in the future, but at the minute it's going to be overkill for what I need, but it will look neater than what I'm currently doing by sticking stuff on the desk. Alright, so it's pretty late right now, but before I call it a night, I want to run the cable from the cab that we put in last week into the booth. Now, I've just ran the cable around the booth to the desk for the speaker output, so now we can get sound to the cab. Now I want to run the cable that runs from the cab to the input of the desk so we can record it from the microphone. Now, I want to run it into the booth and run it into the snake because I've already got the snake going down the side of the room. So my stupid idea here is it is now, ready for this, 2:45 AM. I can prove this to you. It's dark outside. I've got two ways of doing this. Now I'm thinking I could either run it, I want to run it around the booth, but I can't physically get stuff, as you can see, round there. So my thought is, if I run it around the top from this side, I can maybe throw it and hope it'll go down far enough, and then I can put my hand through the hole in the back of the booth, obviously I'm going to clear it yet, and reach and grab it and pull it in. I don't know if that's going to work. or because there's no way I can get up there either. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm going to try the idea of throwing the cable over and see if it goes to roughly the right place. If I can get it over and through the hole, then I'll run it across back to the thing. Let's try it out. No. Oh. That doesn't really work. This might work. I think the end might be heavy enough. Why am I doing this at 3 AM? Aha! Is that going down? I think it is. You know, the last thing I want to do right now is get this stuck. Ooh. Okay. Right, moment of truth. Right, I'm going to mount this, by the way, up here. I've got to drill a few holes and then I'll screw it to the wall. Right, moment of truth. What's even fun? Oh, it's getting narrow now. What's even funnier is there it is. I haven't even tested this cable out yet, to be fair. Look at that. And it's going to go into number 14. There we go. First line in on the snake. Right, that's already connected to the box, so I can test that out in a minute. I need to screw this to the wall. Too late now to do it, obviously. And then that is ready to roll. Happy days. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Oh, in the interest of keeping you in the loop, the cable I ran over the booth was dead, so I had to run another one. So luckily it went over exactly the same as we did a minute ago. So happy days, that's all in. So we've got the booth, the cab going into the booth, into the stage box, which is then going right round up to here. So now the amp's on, effects unit's on, DI, cab. Together. Nice. Right, that's in, that's done. The bass amp is also ready to roll. I'm going to sort out some headphone outputs next as well. Right, that's that. I'm going to call it here tonight. I'm going to go to bed, I'm knackered now. And then tomorrow we'll get some cables out. We'll get the headphone stuff linked up as much as we can. You have to dig through my bag for some short XLR cables. Happy days. And we're back on another day. Right, let's get this snake, or stage box, whatever you want to call it, let's get that mounted to the wall so it's looking neat, it's looking in place. I've had a bit of a tidy up in the room. I've got rid of some stuff that doesn't need to be in here now. That box is just full of acoustic treatment, so I'm going to get that out the booth as well and get things in place. So let's get that mounted, and then we can figure out the headphone amp outputs. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to feed them around the room, one round to the drum kit and also one round to the sofa. I can plug straight into the unit being by the desk, and we're also going to sort out an output to run into the headphone amp and then down here, so then when we're on the drums we can then just plug straight into this and it still goes straight from the same source output. Let's do it. Happy days. That's in, mounted, wired up. That's the connection for the amp cab, as I fitted last night, as you know. Ready to go. Right, I've got to sort the outputs. I need to put an adapter in here for outputs, or an output for the headphone amp. So I need to get it from a female jack, female XLR to a 1/4 inch, or with an adapter, 3.5 inch jack cable. So that's the next job for that. Right, I better get that headphone amp sorted, mightn't I? And order some more stuff. And we're back on another day. Right, I've got this nice pile of cables. They're all dead. They all need fixing, so my job today is to fix them up so I got cables available for using here in the studio. I've also had an idea. I was chatting to my friend the other day, and they said, how about some coat hooks? And I went, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think about that? So I'm going to go out and find some nice coat hooks to match the trim in here. We're going to hang the coat hooks on this wall. And then I can hang all of the XLR cables and jack cables on the hooks. Nice and tidy. Right, let's get these done, let's get these fixed. I've got a cup of tea on the go, put some music on, let's do it. Nice, that didn't take too long, which is ideal. Now I've just got a nice handful of XLRs and a couple of jack cables as well. Ready to roll, which is good. Right, pack this down, on to the next thing. And we're all wired in, all ready to go, all hooked up. All the lines are tidy back there as well. Aux one, I can headphone output one, I should say. I can just plug straight into here as I'm sitting here at the desk. Number 2 is going round to the drum kit. Number 3 is going round to just behind the sofa, and number 4 is going going into the booth. So all I've got to do now is get an adapter to come out of the wall, the other end in the booth. So then we can have a jack socket in there. I might just change the socket in the box, or I might just get an adapter. I'll make a decision on that at some point. Anyways, for now, that's ideal. So on to the next thing, which I think will be hanging up some cables nice and neatly inside the booth. Yeah. And we're back on another day. Okay, right, I went out this afternoon, picked up another light, the same as I put in the booth, and I'm going to put it down in this little corridor corner because I can't see a thing when I'm down there. So to make it usable space, I'm going to put a light down there. I've also then bought some hooks for putting my cables up. I'm going to put these at the bottom end for hanging all the XLRs and jacks on, just so they're out of the way, they're neat, and if I want them I know where to find them. And then nearer to this end of the booth, it's all going to go in the corridor right now, is I bought this close hook in the sale because obviously it needs a paint job. So I'm going to paint it black. I might keep it grey actually. No, I need to paint it black because it's missing some paint. But the plan with this is I'll probably put it up here or something like that, just so I've got some coat hooks for when the mates come over. Right, let's get that done. Let's do it. Alright, that's much better. I know it's only the corner of the room, but when I need to come down here, obviously the isolation cab's down here, I've got some cases down here, it just makes it a bit more usable. Right, I'm thinking about putting 2 hooks up here 4 cables, and then down this head right here will be the coat hook, obviously for the coat. So I think I might butt them right up against the top there. That'll be ideal. Sorted. Okay. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to guesstimate it. Guesstimate? I'm going to eyeball it with what I think's level. And then I'm not going to check it, because if it's wrong, I'll have a hole in the wall and I don't want it. Well, done. Happy days. So if I have this right, I think as of today, now obviously I will probably change stuff in the future and build more stuff in the future and everything like that. However, for the current state that I need the room in to start working in, the room is complete. The whole thing is done. I've got a project I've been working on to test out the rig and test out the room. I'm going to continue with that project. They might come out at some point. Keep an eye out for it, I'll let you know. So I'm going to call it here for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel, subscribing to the channel, liking the video, sharing it with your friends. I do appreciate it. And don't forget, keep doing that. If you really like the content, keep doing it. Let's get more people involved and more people knowing about this little place. I've got loads of videos coming for different things to do in the studio. We've still got to build I've got to get the stream set up, the new stream set up done. There is a video on my old stream setup when I was in the temporary space, so I'm going to do the same again for this setup. Going to do a bit different idea. I've got some plans, I've got some ideas. That'll come at some point, and we're going to do some more in-depth videos recording guitars, recording drums, vocals, etc, etc, etc like that. So be sure to keep an eye out for them. Take it easy, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers and gone.